Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name's Liz and this is Let's Get Lizical, where we do everything card making. Today we're going to be playing with some tags on cards. And right now I'm kind of flashing across the screen what I normally use for like baby cards, so I tend to gear towards my MFT sets, the Adorable Elephants, Hog Heaven, Magical Dragons, and Friends with Fins set. And the only actual baby set I have is that Simon Says stamp, Oh Baby set, so I'll be using that for sentiments. But first I wanted to add a bit of pattern to my tags. You could definitely use pattern paper for this, especially if you have scraps. These tags are fairly small. This one measures about a 2x3, I believe. And the cloud might be around the same size, but I wanted to add some pattern to it, so I'm using this Alt to New set. I don't remember what the stripy one's called, but I know the dots are Swiss dots. But I'll link them both in the description down below. I had like a really hard time getting these a few years ago because they were constantly sold out. They're great for adding a little bit of, pattern to your papers, which is what I'm doing today. I just wanted to do like a tonal print on the yellow tag, and then I was thinking I would also do it on the cloud, but I didn't end up liking it. I think the dots are a little bit too big. If they were a little bit smaller, maybe it would have looked a bit nicer. But I just end up using the other layer as the top layer. I did cut 2 of both of these just because the paper is a little bit thinner. This white paper is actually like a textured linen type paper that I bought from Walmart like a long time ago, thinking I could use it for cards and stuff, but it's not really good for that. So I tend to use it really just for clouds most of the time for my cards, but once in a while I use it for other like textured panels that I want. But first I want to ink blend some color on the bottom of this card. I'm going to use my positively saturated inks, and as you can see, like I kind of labeled all of my containers. I bought another, I think, 2 things of these so that I could label them and have one foam pad for each color trio. And then they don't technically have names, like they're just trio numbers on Simon's website. So this one, the first color in the trio is Marine, so I labeled it Marine Trio. Just so I know that the colors are, because I'm not going to remember what the numbers are for sure, and I don't want to label both my inks and this, so it was just easier for me to do that. But yeah, so I just ink blended a little bit of blue along the bottom just to give the background a little bit more interest, and then I'm going to add the tags to the card. For this one, I double layered both of them just because I am using thinner cardstock, and I was thinking maybe about propping them both up. This one I ended up gluing straight down on the card. But I'm just adding a bit of embroidery floss that I have on hand as my little ties. That's what I usually use it for. I was trying to do some cross-stitching projects a few years ago and it just didn't work out. So I use it for this. If the project's not small, I'm not doing it. Because if it takes too long, I get bored with it. So they are being used, just slower. And I'm just going to put this yellow one off to the left. And then for the cloud one, I'm actually not even going to put the string in the tag. It's going to get covered up anyway because I'm going to be putting my image over that, but you could like most definitely add string to this one as well and then put your image, a little off to the side or whatever, just so that it could show. But this little tag here is just like a perfect shape for this card, and it didn't matter if I was using it as a proper tag or not. You could also, which might be cute, add string and kind of like hang it up towards the top of the card if you were doing this on a separate panel, because then you could like glue the ends behind it, which I'm just thinking of now. But then I would have had to do my sentiment separate and then prop that up probably over it, but it would look kind of cute as like a hanging cloud. So maybe I'll do that in the future. And then right now I'm just stamping the Oh Baby sentiment from that Simon set in the matching blue that I used on the bottom. And then I'm going to get into coloring my elephant. And for that, I'll just play music as I usually do while you guys watch me color. Okay, now that that's done, I've already stamped, colored, stamped, and then cut out with my coordinating dies because this is one of the first sets that I bought when I started card making, so I have the coordinating dies for that. Again, I cut this as 2 layers because I am going to be propping it up onto the cloud, which I am going to be popping up on some foam tape. So it just gives it that little bit of extra stability and gives it a little tiny bit of a dimension as well. So here I am putting the foam tape on. And looking at this card, I think it's still cute, but I kind of wish I did use the dots on it because it just like added a little bit of extra pattern. It's kind of hard to see in the video, the stripes on the yellow one, but it is more prominent in person for sure. And right now I'm just gonna add a bit of a like shadow under the elephant just so he's not kind of like floating in the middle of the cloud, but it was a little too dark, so I'm just using my colorless blender to help blend that color out. And I play with this back and forth until I'm happy with it. I should have just used a lighter color, but I didn't want it too close to the elephant at the same time because then it'll just blend into one another. So now I'm just finishing up the assembly by gluing the elephant down, and then I decided to actually pop a little bit of foam tape behind his head as well because it does stick up a little bit past the cloud, and I'm just going to do that carefully with my picker tool. And then I'm going to add some white highlights with my Posca pen. But that's pretty much it, our card for today, guys. Thanks again for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe because I'd love to have you. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content. And I'll see you guys next week for some more fun videos. Thanks. Bye.